Okay, how I buy cards, it's different than most people. It's especially different than the people who make YouTube videos and live at home with mommy and daddy.
That's not content.
I don't check comps. I don't care who won the Super Bowl. I don't care what products were just released by Panini or Topps or whoever has the license. I don't care. I don't care if Justin Herbert wins 7 Super Bowls or 0. None of that matters to me. I do not buy cards based on player performance. I'd rather make money, frankly, than play fantasy sports. So please turn this video off if you think I'm going to give you advice on what players to buy.
I think that Will Grier right now is about 4 times better of an investment than Kyler Murray.
I don't buy cards like that. It's not sexy the way I buy cards. I don't buy the hot players. The cards I buy won't get any likes on Instagram. So now that we've got that sorted out, I'm willing to buy any card of any player if the price is right.
It's the price is right, Happy.
Those are how the most successful sports card dealers I know buy and sell sports cards. For example, all your little influencer buddies.
I am buying.
We're down at the Burbank Sports Card Show this weekend in Southern California. How many people know that Burbank Sports Cards, the store, wasn't built buying and selling $25,000 cards? That store wasn't built buying and selling $25 cards. Burbank Sports Cards, the store, was built buying and selling 25-cent cards.
Bitch.
Rob Veers, the owner of Burbank Sports Cards, is a very compelling public speaker. I've heard him talk about his business of mostly selling common cheap cards several times at the Las Vegas Industry Summit over a decade now. In fact, I would encourage Rob Veers' little influencer friends to convince Rob to put up his 30-minute talk about selling common cards online. Rob, I think you should do this.
That's content.
The 2 times I heard Rob Veers talk about selling cards and building his business were the 2 best performances I have ever seen in the history of the sports card industries at one of these little conferences. Buying low-end cards like Burbank Sports Cards does is not sexy. But here are 2 things that it does provide for a business. Selling low-end cards takes away the volatility of the market, i.e. risk.
James Harden's rookie cards look like an absolute steal right now.
Your risk level selling low-end crap is pretty low. The cheap cards I buy don't have wild swings in price.
Yep.
What they are worth today is about what they will be worth tomorrow.
Bitch.
So the key for me is just finding really good deals when I buy these cards, which are available in abundance.
Clear.
Second thing buying and selling low-end cards provides to a business typically is cash flow. I constantly buy and sell cards on Check On My Cards with money used from cards I flipped. I can't remember the last time I deposited money onto Check Out My Cards. Many people who buy and sell high-end cards run into cash flow issues. That's why in a down market like what we are in now, you see guys either have to A, borrow money to stay in business, B, they have to make trades instead of buying cards with cash,
And I traded that card for a James Harden rookie.
C, they have to take huge losses on cards that they've purchased previously to drum up some cash, or D, and we'll see this happen a lot, these high-end flippers leave the sports card world altogether.
It's not about the $1 million that I'll make in flipping cards in the next 3 years, and I will.
Guess what happened to the millions of cards that Burbank Sports Cards owned that were worth $1 or less when cards started to decline in value in 2021? What do you think happened to the value of that inventory, that low-end inventory that Burbank Sports Card had? It didn't go down 50% in value like many of these high-end sports cards have.
Buy more Tatis cards.
Selling low-end cards, although not sexy, not going to get you Instagram likes, it's far less risky than selling cards valued at $1,000 or higher. I don't want to look good on Instagram. I want to build a sustainable, long-term business buying and selling cards. So for me, just starting out, I don't have a store, I don't have a warehouse, I don't have employees, so I'm primarily going to utilize vaults to store my cards, at least initially. I'll continue to purchase very cheap cards on Check On My Cards, primarily through port sales, where I can get a lot of cards in one time from one person, or buying cards in bulk, maybe from one person. I'll try to ramp this up and maximize COMC as very best I can, both sending cards in, which I have done recently, and obviously buying cards on the site. Anything $50 and under is a candidate to end up on Check Out My Cards. But for more expensive cards, let's call that, for me, more expensive cards would be $500 and under. That would be more my ballpark. There are lots of places to buy and sell sports cards like this. I'm trying to ramp it up and spend about $1,000 a day on sports cards by the end of the year. That is my goal. How will I do that? How will I spend $1,000 per day on sports cards? Mostly lower end cards. Obviously, if I can get to some card shows near me, that would be very important. I put a link in the video description to a card show calendar on our website, so be sure to click on that. On eBay, one of the largest platforms to buy and sell cards, a seller I buy a lot from is consignor DC Sports 87. Why do I buy from them? If you buy 40 items, which is the maximum eBay allows you to put in a shopping cart, DC Sports only charges $8.95 shipping total. So that's super cheap. If you're buying 40 graded cards at one time, it's only $8.95 to ship. That's pretty cheap. But I need more places to buy cards. I actually need some places that presumably store these cards, and at some point I will need to sell them. I will be definitely buying a lot of cards off Goldin Auctions.
This is my friggin' house.
I need 5 acres on a golf course too, guys.
Okay.
And Goldin can probably help me get there in several ways. One, they are owned by PSA, which is the largest and most profitable company in the sports card space. If I were to feel safe buying and selling sports cards anywhere, wouldn't it be on PSA? PSA and Goldin aren't gonna go out of business.
As you know, with me, it's all about the vibes.
Any past beef with Goldin means nothing when it comes to business. Many of you weren't around in 2019 and don't realize that our coverage of Auction House PWCC helped lead to an FBI investigation.
That's drama.
I'll drop a link to the article. The FBI spent the better part of 40 minutes one day on our website about PWCC. Nobody, and I mean nobody, that we've talked about on these videos in the last year has risen to the level of an FBI investigation. I'm sorry we didn't make videos back in 2019 about PWCC. We were busy getting death threats over the PWCC stuff. Those articles I wrote in 2019 on our website were getting as many views per day as these videos do. It was real drama back then. Real FBI subpoenas got handed out. PWCC had to fork over millions of dollars in legal bills and refunds to collectors who bought trim cards off their website. It was serious stuff.
That's drama.
If there's any real beef to be had with anyone in the sports card world, it wouldn't be with a tech investor in Georgia.
Boba Shack.
It wouldn't be on a man living on 5 acres on a golf course.
Okay.
Guys, our coverage of PWCC led to an FBI investigation.
That wrecks the card.
So I will absolutely be buying off Goldin Auctions. I bought 7 cards last week on Goldin's weekly auction, and it was $7 to ship them. That's really cheap. I've got tons of bids on their stuff on the weekly auction on Thursday. Would be great if I can hit that magic number of $1,000 in purchases on Thursday. We will see what happens. So right now, my focus primarily is on buying. Selling cards will come later. Once I build up some inventory and I can try out some different selling strategies with a larger inventory than what I currently have. But I'm trying to build a long-term sustainable business. It's not important for me right now to be flipping cards fast or be worrying about selling, really frankly at all. I want to get a good process of buying cards down. COMC, eBay, Goldin, how much time does that take me per day to be buying $1,000 worth of cards every day? Can I do that consistently, somewhat easily? That is what is important for me right now. My goal, start buying $1,000 of cards per day by the end of the year. That is my goal right now. You can come join us on Thursday. Me and my brother will be live talking about some of the stuff we're bidding on eBay, talking about some of the stuff we're bidding on Goldin, and we'll get into all of the various sports card drama, beef, real beef or not, going on in the sports card world. Be sure to come hang out with us, get in the chat, let us know. And I think we're actually going to be dropping news that we're looking to hire somebody. Yes, that's right. Sports Card Radio is looking to bring somebody onto our team. So be sure to come hang out. Check us out. We'll be on for about an hour, starting at about 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern on Thursday, which is,
You can Google it.
I believe, tomorrow if you're watching this video right when it comes out. And we will see you then.
Yep.